So I've been thinking about what I would do for like a dissertation diary because it's been a minute, and I'm kind of just reflecting on how frustrating this process is. Um, I think, I don't remember when it was, probably like months ago, or I think I kept repeating it in videos that I was gonna propose my dissertation in October. And I haven't done it yet because it's still September as I'm recording this, but I've scheduled my proposal defense for late October, which is very exciting because I feel like it's in a really good place, and my advisor does as well. And the really awesome part of that is I'm also applying to internships right now, and some of the sites that I'm interested in have a requirement that your dissertation has to be proposed by the application deadline. Most of them require that you need to have it proposed by the start of internship, but there are a couple that have that earlier deadline. And originally I wasn't sure if I was going to meet it because of some difficulty with getting some edits back from my advisor and just making the necessary edits to make sure it is in a good place to send to my committee. And luckily we did agree that it will be ready with the edits that I am making currently. So that's exciting. But one of the things about working on the dissertation right now is that when I came into my program, I don't know that I decided that I was going to finish in 5 years. I think I assumed that most people in my program did, and some do and some don't. Usually my advisor's students tend to finish in 5 years. So that's kind of just like how I've been going through the process. And everything's been good. For the most part, grad school in general is hard. So just getting through the different milestones in my program has been a journey. But I think I'm starting to feel the weight of finishing in 5 years, because that means we're doing 4 years of coursework, and then the 5th year is the full-time internship. And in that time, there's no dedicated time to doing the dissertation. Had I decided to do 6 years, I could have done 4 years of coursework, worked on my dissertation in the 5th year, probably finished it, and then ended with my internship in the 6th year. And students take different paths depending on what their priorities are, and there's nothing wrong with either way. I personally just don't want to do 6 years. So I'm feeling the weight of that right now with my other responsibilities and tasks. The writing of my dissertation has been difficult since the semester started because of some scheduling with the classes that I have. Originally, my classes were on Thursday. I have 2 classes a semester, and they were both on Thursday. So I was like, okay, Thursday is class day, and then I have 2 days of practicum, which were Monday and Wednesday. So Tuesday and Friday were going to be dedicated to dissertation and my assistantship stuff. Everything else, I was like, those are going to happen on those other 3 days. But then one of my classes got moved to Monday evening, which took away part of Monday, which meant I also had to change my practicum day, and then some of my assistantship stuff. Anyway, all that to say, being able to sit down and write this dissertation has been a struggle. And even though it took me a while to get some edits back, I am a little grateful for the extra time I had to not have to fully think about the dissertation. It's such an independent process, but so much is also in the hands of whoever your dissertation chair is. So moving forward, yeah, I can write all I want and say oh yeah, this is ready. But if they don't feel like it's ready, then we need to work on that. And just having the time to sit down. I think I mentioned before, your writing routine and what works for you. And the 3 to 5 hour chunks 2 to 3 times a week really do help me, but now it's just harder to find that time where I'm not also committed to doing something else. But I feel like it's scheduled. Once I defend my proposal, get whatever feedback from my committee, make my edits, I can really hit the ground running with collecting my data. And that was one of my biggest concerns, because I'm collecting data, but I'm also delivering the intervention for my study. It's a 6-week intervention, and finding a time that will work for my participants is making me a little nervous. And then 2, actually doing the intervention weekly. Luckily it is in a group, so I don't have to like communicate with a bunch of people individually. It's kind of just like, this is what we're gonna do. But it's a lot, and the timeline that I've kind of given myself is based on, getting my IRB approved by the end of this calendar year. Because it is a 6-week program, if all goes well with IRB and recruitment, I'll at least be done with collecting my data before I go to internship, which is honestly the goal. By the time I go on internship, all I want to be doing is analyzing my data and writing it up. So I'm looking forward to that. Right now, I just feel like I'm not getting the best sleep, and I have a lot of headaches, and sometimes I just don't want to open up that document, the dissertation proposal document, and I don't want to. But I have been journaling. I think I've shared this journal before, my dissertation journal. I call it a journal because I make notes in here when I meet with my advisor. For some reason, I find it easier to take notes on hard copy rather than on my computer, because then I have it all in one place rather than a bunch of either one very long document or a bunch of short documents. But I also call it a journal because I journal in there, and I journaled in it yesterday about how I was feeling about everything, and it felt good to be able to put some of those words on paper and not just kind of like stew in it, or talk with other people about it. But it's nice to like get it there, and then maybe if I ever want to, I can go back and read what I said after I finish, and I'm like, oh, Brianna, you were worrying about nothing. But it feels really big right now. So that's all I have to say about that. I feel like the dissertation is just like looming over my head with everything else that I have to think about. So I just wanted to kind of reflect on that, because it is hard, and I think the difference in guidance that you get from your dissertation chair makes all the difference. I feel like I've gotten pretty good guidance from my chair with like doing this process, but even then it is still an independent project, so a lot of like it's mine. I have to be able to defend it to my committee regardless of what my advisor says. So that part is a bit much. But I think in these rounds of feedback, like in the margins or whatever, my advisor will put like, oh, what about this? I think this is something the committee might have questions about, which is really helpful in thinking about what I should cover in the defense and what I should be prepared to answer if I haven't covered it already. But anyway, that's how I'm feeling right now about the dissertation. It is a lot, and after I finish this video, I'm about to read mine before I send it off to my advisor. So wish me luck. Bye.